Joining me now is Davante Adams. Another incredible season, and it's not over. It's good to see you. I'm so excited, and you get the Bears. It's like absolutely perfect.
This is your dream scenario right here.
I don't know that it's. Oh, I don't know. I'm having I'm having some tumult about it. But there's a lot of Chicago fans saying that it's different. It's different now. I don't know. Your numbers are pretty one-sided against them. Were you excited when you knew it was the Bears? What was the first thing you thought?
Well, first I was thinking like, what is this weather about to be like? And of course, the worst 2 days were the two possible days we were going down there. So, but it is what it is. I got a little bit of that Green Bay still in my memory bank, and then built into my skin. So hopefully, it's not too big of a deal. Go out there and hopefully handle business like we're accustomed to doing.
Devontae, you are a Packer. You are a Ram. I get it. But like you
Yeah.
don't understand the amount of Packers fans on my timeline, just mine, saying he can avenge this loss to the Bears. Like they look at you like you're still this like attached appendage of them, and like you have that weight of your shoulders. Are you feeling that at all? Are you hearing that?
Not really. I mean, at this point in the year, like I'm not too much on social media, so I don't see a lot of the stuff that they're saying. But yeah, I mean, a part of
All love.
once a Packer, always a Packer. So it's one of those situations where obviously I got loyalty to them, but I'm doing this for the Rams. Though, unfortunately, this is not for the Packers people. But if they get something from it, then I love that as well.
I remember sitting with you in the summer in person in training camp, and you just felt it felt like it was just right. Everything was right. The quality of people and the respect you had for your coach and young guys like Puka. Then you lead the league in touchdowns again, missing games too, which is actually insane. And you've played in some crazy playoff games. 2014 versus Seattle comes to mind. 2016 against Dallas. Saturday, was that it? Like, was that the craziest one? Four lead changes. What are you thinking on the game-winning drive?
Well, that one's up there. I don't know if it's at the top just because there's been some crazy ones, and I would put that one maybe close to the top because we actually won it. Unfortunately, a lot of the crazy games that I've been a part of in the playoffs in the past was we came out on the wrong side of it. So this one's good because we got the dub. And on that last drive, I mean, when you have a team like what we have, honestly, there wasn't too much panic and stress going on. I think everybody had a good feeling about our chances and just with who we have on the field. I mean, you look at, we got Puka Nacua out there, we got Tyler Higbee, we got Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, myself, guys that can step in that don't get as many opportunities like Tutu and Mump to be able to step in and make plays. So obviously, and to cap it off, Kobe Parkinson making having another touchdown, his ninth on the season, which is I think seven more than what he's had in the past. So we got a great team, and we got a lot of people that can do a bunch of different things, and it just gives you a lot of confidence.
And what a huge flex that you guys didn't even use a timeout.
Yeah, I mean we were moving the ball pretty good, so I mean if you can keep the clock moving in those situations, we'd rather give them the ball back, not at all, or with as little time on the clock as possible to help our defense.
I think it's huge that you're saying that it's just like trust. You guys knew you'd work it out. It was the most exciting, maybe 2 minute drive I've seen in the longest. It was amazing. You had two huge catches on that drive. And that was after taking, I was on my cut. I was like, get out of here, Nick Scott. Like, I was so pissed. I was so upset. End of the third quarter. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. It's the playoffs, baby. You know how it goes. It's a little bit more physical. They let a few more things roll. Fortunately slash unfortunately, I've been hit a lot harder than that in my career multiple
Is that
times. So
true?
yeah, it's true. Unfortunately, I've had my fair share of shots, sideline and middle of the field, catching the ball, blocking, whatever it's been. So that one caught me right under the jaw.
What is your
Bit through
jaw
my
made
tongue a
of?
little
It
bit.
popped right back up.
Yeah, I'm the Wolverine. It's made of adamantium, so it's okay. We'll be all right.
You're also in great company. Of course, like a former peer in Julio Jones. You're tied with him for 11th most postseason receptions all time. You passed Randy Moss for 17th all time in postseason receiving yards. Congrats on that. That's the kind of
Wow.
lore I love.
Yeah, no, we love that, and it's been since 21 that I had a chance to play in one of these games. So just think if we would have been in a fefew more over these years, be able to climb a lot higher. But ultimately, all that really matters. I appreciate that, but what matters is us finishing this thing off. All of the accolades and the statistics and everything, that stuff is great. When you look at it once you retire, but when you're in it and you're trying to win a Super Bowl, that's really the only thing on your mind.
Retirement is nothing like I'm even putting in the same sentence as you for years to come. Somehow, Mr. Wolverine, 21 miles per hour against the Saints week nine. I was reflecting on your year this morning. How did you clock your fastest speed in 6 years? Literally, how?
Um, I don't know, Benjamin Button. We going the other way with it. Apparently, we getting younger. Just keep taking care of that body, and the good Lord keep blessing me. It's a good recipe for success for sure.
18 yards away from 1,000 career playoff receiving yards.
Yeah, well, you honestly, Kay, I got to give it to you. You give me a lot of these.
Good
I don't even know
numbers.
about half of these until we get on camera
Well, you're
and
a team
you let me
first
know.
guy. You're a team
Yeah,
first guy.
yeah. Well, I mean,
One more,
that's how
let
it's
me tell
supposed
you
to be,
another one.
especially in the playoffs.
100%. One more
Mhm.
playoff touchdown puts you in the top 10 all time.
Okay, we can do that.
I
We can do
think,
that.
and that'll happen
Yeah.
at the hands of your former rival. It'll be so fun. When you look back at this regular season, let's say now you're in a whole thing. I know you're in. It's probably hard to do. How does it stack up? Where does this season where does it live in all of your seasons personally so far?
Well, I mean, if you take a look at the regular season, then obviously I mean, it was anytime you join a new team, especially taking into account, just recently not being able to be in the playoffs, since I left Green Bay and just kind of struggling to find a permanent home and find somewhere to truly be happy and when, play meaningful December and January, and hopefully February games. You got to put it up near the top. But um, thing about it is you got to finish off the season and see, did we accomplish our ultimate goal? And obviously there's lessons and different moral victories along the way that you can look at to make yourself feel good. But 12 years going on 13 years in this thing, all that's really on my mind is winning the Super Bowl. So we'll reflect at the end of it when it's all done, and hopefully I'll have a better answer for you then.
You play with the MVP. You just finished your first playoff game with him. I love that you said that, his quote, let's go snatch these guys' hearts is one of those gangster things that you've built up
Mhm.
in your head. From when I talked to you in August, which you guys knew each other a little bit. Of course, you were foes for a while. You were just sort of getting to know each other's families, the dynamics out there. What have you learned about Matthew Stafford from like August to now?
Well, I mean, it's the thing is with him is you obviously continue to get to know the guy, and your relationship can grow, but so much of him is what you see is what you get. And a lot of people, the honeymoon phase, it appears a certain way, and then once you get to know him for real, the real part comes out, and it's not always what you thought, at the beginning when you first got that first impression, and everybody's trying to do their best to give you their best. And it just basically turns out that he's one of those unicorns that, you meet him, you get a first impression, and that first impression just basically carries as long as you know him. So he's a real solid dude, and really easy to get along with, really easy to work with, and obviously a baller on the field. So it's just, the way he is as a dad, and just being there having four girls in general is crazy. So I got to
Mm.
give him a little bit of extra love for that one. But seeing the way his kids embrace him, the way that they travel and love to, just be around the whole thing, the way that they love me. Our kids are friends now, and anytime they see me, they could run up and give me a hug after the game before they even, before he's even around. He might be still doing, some podium stuff, and they'll come up and embrace Uncle Tay. So we just all like a real big family, and it's just kind of got started quick and moved quick, but it's one of those things when it's real, and that's kind of the partnership and friendship that we all have.
I couldn't believe that he had it. I mean, I could because he's so tough and he's done this his whole career, but like, you're telling me his finger was that hurt and he still was slinging it like that? What is that?
I mean, that's what you saw. That's the Detroit version that we saw, way back before I was even in the league. But having my opportunities to play against him, that was one of the things that at that point I hated the most was that this dude is, you can hardly get him off the field no matter what you do. He's kind of like me in the sense that as soon as something happens, you can tell all he's thinking is, can I continue to play? And can I still go and be out there on the field for my team? So he's a dog, and that's the type of dog stuff you see from MVP.
Um, Gosh, it's so true. And he's so amazing. I'm a little worried that you guys are looking at the weather. Did you and Matt get soft out there out west? Like what's happening? Like you,
A
you
little
know?
bit, a little
Yeah,
bit. I'm
I'm
not
now
gonna
a little
lie.
worried about this. Hold on
Yeah,
now.
Well, the reality is I did just play in New York last year, so it's not like
Mhm.
I'm not worried about it. I would just much rather be comfortable, than to go out and play in well, I think it's a high of 17 or whatever, but
Low
some
of
of my
11.
best games in my career, yeah. Some of the best games in my career were in these type of conditions. So I'm not too much worried about it. It's just more about how we're gonna feel out there. But still haven't worn sleeves ever in my career, and that's gonna continue this week.
So many memories I have of you tormenting the Bears franchise. I'd like to take you to maybe my most memorable one in 2017. It was week
Mm.
10, regular season at Soldier Field. You know this
With
game.
Brett, with Brett,
Tell me what
I
you
do.
remember without Aaron.
Yeah, this one was a little bit of a different one. I remember I think this is a touchdown right here up the right side, little back shoulder, boom. Yep. And yeah, I think we got another one. We had another big one down the sideline. There we go. A little stutter go. And this this one was kind of like the dagger a little bit. And yeah, that was a fun day. It was an interesting day without Aaron out there, but it was good to continue it on.
I mean, so anybody want? I'm pointing this out for Bears fans who were like, it's different. This, I don't know. You did it with Hunley. You did it without Aaron. You're going to do it with Stafford. It'll be fascinating to see. What were you yelling at those fans, the Bears fans, after the one-handed catch to ice it?
I don't know. I think I was yelling something to the effect of "It's over and they can get out of here and head home." Maybe get home safe or something like that. But if I do remember correctly, I don't know if they got the ball back or not after that. But it was a little closer than what I thought. I thought we had ended it, and that was kind of like a knee out situation. But unfortunately, I think they got another shot at it. But we did still finish it off, which was good.
What are you telling like Puka about playing in Chicago, playoff E atmosphere, and what that might be like, or what do you remember when you think about what that vibe was like playing in Chicago all those years?
Well, I've told them many stories. They all talk about, anytime weather comes up or whatever. I've told them multiple stories about, playing there in minus 25 with the wind chill and a bunch of stuff like that. Just trying to honestly get them wrap their heads around the weather, but also understand that it's not going to be near as bad as what you're making it in your mind. So continue to
Mhm.
build it up and be crazy. The fans are going to be what they are. They got a crazy fan base, but at the end of the day, if we go out and handle our business, we shouldn't let any of the external stuff, factor into the overall outcome of the game. And we got a very resilient, mentally tough team. So I don't think any of that will factor in for us. So we should be good.
You have all the Rams fans cheering for you. Like I said, you still have this. It's I don't even know what that would feel like to have another entire fan base rooting for you in the Packers. Like you said, once a Packer, always a part of you is going to be there. There's also another like fun matchup is this whole LaFleur thing, right? You've gotten to know both of them. Davante well spent 3 years with Matt in Green Bay. Now Mike in LA. He can avenge his brother's wild card loss. There's not a lot of love there. Um,
Yeah.
what has been the conversation about that in the building?
To be honest, there hasn't been any conversation about it. That's just kind of something that gets put on the back burner, especially at a critical time like this. I think if we were playing them during the season, there might be a few jokes about it, but at this point, everybody's locked into the point where it's all serious, all business, and I don't think the LaFleurs are thinking too much about that. Obviously, I think Matt is probably thinking about it a little bit more than Mike and Sean for sure, but. Yeah, it'd be good either way. I know Matt will be excited for his brother and excited for me having played for him. So if we go out there and take care of it, which obviously we're going out there to take care of business. So hopefully we can get that done for him.
You told me back in August that you were so excited to work with this Puka Nacua football player, like
Yeah.
enthusiastic. You were so complimentary of him without really knowing him that well. And then he went berserk again this past week. And one of his biggest plays sort of didn't show up in the box score, the PBU early in the fourth. He like saved an interception. It was amazing. What did that moment say about Puka?
Well, I mean, it just shows what type of competitor he is. He had made mention earlier in the week when I think we sat down with, or maybe it was last week, we sat down with Carissa, and he made mention about at the end of, I think it was the Philly game in the playoffs, he regretted not going for a ball or doing something. I don't even know if I remember the play specifically, but he made mention about just wanting to be a little bit more competitive and competing through the snap for at the end of that game. So I don't know if that was on his mind, but I mean that play saved our season right there. So obviously you look at the 10 receptions, which should be 11 receptions, 100 and a couple more yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't know. They counted one of them as a backward pass, but I mean he's a baller. He's one of the most reliable dudes that I've ever been around, and he has more fun playing the game than a lot of people that I've ever been around too. So with that competitive edge and the type of the wherewithal to go break up that ball and then just continue to make all the plays that he makes. He's such a valuable player for us that we obviously love him.
You're one step closer to getting what all your fans want for you, what you want for you, a ring. How much are you thinking? I know you're thinking game to game, but it's there, right? This Lombardi, the
Yeah.
thought of capturing it pretty much right down the road from where you grew up. What are the thoughts there?
I mean, it's impossible. Anytime you have a good enough team, it's hard to not think about it even during the regular season, at least a few times, let alone when you're in the playoffs and, you win the first round and, your team's got some momentum and it's one of those situations where, you are a few games away. So you keep it in the back of your mind, but you also do as good of a job as you can to stay present, stay focused in the moment because that's what I attribute really all my success to from leaving college up to this point is just being locked in, being ready for my moment and just being dialed into the moment that I'm currently in versus, trying to have too much foresight and think about things that you can't control yet. So only way that we can prepare to play in that Super Bowl game is by winning the game before that. And the only way we can get to the game before that is, taking care of business this week. So that's really our mindset. I know my mindset in particular. Having played in 4 NFC championship games, you can't get too far ahead of yourself. You just got to stay focused in the present, and that's where I'm at.
Uh, I can't see how you guys aren't going to do it. Just even talking to
Yeah.
you, like confident, like it's just like business. It feels just like
Well,
business.
on paper, I mean that's the way it should be. You look at the roster we have. I don't know anybody that can compete with what we have, and our coaching staff, everything about what we got going as a team right now is hot, and it's built for that. It's a recipe for success. But just being Davante Adams, Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, and Jared Verse and all these guys, that doesn't get it done for you. You got to go out and play good ball, and you got to play good ball that day. So that's one of the main things I've talked to the team about is just understanding that it doesn't matter how good you are; it's about how good you play, and that's something that's on our mind and we stay focused on.
He can't retire. I need him to, like I can't deal.
Oh no, no,
Well,
no, 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 no,
I
no,
don't
no,
know
no,
because
no.
I can't deal with this because I'm sure you watched last night. So I mean, you turn on any TV right now. I know you don't care, you're not invested in that, but you love Aaron. We're
Yeah.
watching last night and I'm like, is this this is it? Like, what is this? What were your thoughts watching that unfold last night?
Well, one, I'm heartbroken for him because I know how much he wants it, and I know how much he deserves it. Obviously, and to see it in that way, that's not that game. To see that game in that way, that's not how any of us saw it happening, and definitely don't want his career to end that way. And that's one of my best friends, so that hurts me, hurts my heart a little bit to watch, but ultimately just hoping that there's something left there for him to continue going. I just want to see him happy and see him at least finish the way that he deserves to finish. So I can't say I don't know what's going to happen, and certainly haven't gotten an answer from him on what he's going to do, nor am I pressing him about trying to get an answer. Just kind of letting him go through his process. Anytime you played 21 years in this league, you're in your 40s. I don't know. Nobody's talking me into playing when I'm in my 40s, so I'm not going to be on his back about it, but it's something that I definitely support to just to see him go out the right way.
I don't even know what the right way. I think my opinion of like what the right way as a fan of his, like somebody who also really likes him, like what that looks like. Because it used to be like walk off Brady, Peyton, get the ring, go to Disney, whatever. But there was
Yeah,
something about this year that felt like he's just more fulfilled. Like he's not, and like happy is not the word, but it's
yeah,
like even, I mean, after he'll take however much time he needs to settle what happened last night, which was awful, and
Mhm.
heartbreaking is a great word to use. But like part of me is like, yeah, why not? I mean, he still can throw it. He looks, I mean, he's looked great all year. Took his team to
He
the
can still
playoff.
move
Like,
around too. That's the thing.
people
I
think
mean,
he
he's moving
can't.
better.
Everyone's
Yeah,
retiring him this morning. You understand, Davante? Like
I see it. I
everyone.
see it, and it makes me sick because just knowing him and what everybody should know about him at this point is, I mean, you talk about Matthew Stafford and toughness. Like this dude is I mean, he learned from Brett Favre. So I mean, he's just as much Iron Man as anybody who's ever played this game. And I got so much respect for how he's done it, and just the fact that he's just been himself throughout this whole thing. And I got
Yes.
nothing but cheers for him, no matter
Yes.
what happens. And I think it was Joe Buck last night made mention of, in the world of so many quarterbacks just giving the cliche answers and not really wanting to be themselves and being afraid to be themselves. We got to appreciate people like Aaron Rodgers who are, gonna just come out and 100% be themselves regardless of how you feel about it. And whether or not you like him, like what he stands for, what he talks about, he's going to be himself. And he's not going to come off and try to be any type of way to make anybody feel any bad ways. But if certain things hurt your feelings, then that's just kind of the way the world works. And I honestly feel that, and that's kind of the way that I move in certain ways as well. And we all have our different flavors, but this dude is one of the greatest that's ever played, and one of the greatest competitors I've ever been around. So
He's not retiring. We heard. I figured it out already. There's just no way. There's no. But I do like the point. I've been saying it all year. He's done so much with so little around him. Not to not, but he has done the most that he can do with what's around him. And we'll see him next year. And by the way, 2 years ago, maybe you thought I'm not going to be on a team that has the infrastructure to do it. And look
yeah,
at you. Look at you
yeah.
now doing your thing. I'm obviously, I'm so excited. Could not be happier. Will you just please take it easy? Just like, don't,
Look, I
Alex,
already didn't
Alex
play
Smith, I
amazing
just
last
talked to
week.
Alex Smith. Get out of here. I talked to Alex Smith and he goes, okay, the Rams are going to hang 50 on the Bears. And I was like, oh, ah. So,
Hey, you
hey,
never know. Look, we got what it takes. It's about how you go out there and play that day, and hopefully we come out and play like we're ready to hang 50 on somebody. We'll see early.
I can't wait. And then a Super Bowl potentially in Santa Clara, California. Lots of meaningful connections for you. Thank you for the time. Always rooting for you. Always cheering you on. Go get those record numbers. They matter. They will matter.
No doubt, no doubt. We'll add
Hey,
them up, and most importantly, hopefully we can put some on that finger at the end.
oh my God, yes, I would die. I would die. What
Hmm.
have you talked to Max Crosby lately?
I have. I've been kind of letting
Devontae?
them breathe a little bit. But I've been in his ear a little bit this year, just kind of checking on my guy. A few of my guys over there. Him. Trey Tucker. That's another one of my guys over
Love
there as
him.
well. DJ Turner. I've been checking on all my guys over there, just making sure that they're good and in a good headspace.
No recruiting, no advice on future.
Hey, the recruiting is in what we're doing. What we putting on tape every week. So these guys are definitely seeing what we're doing, and I don't sign checks and I don't make decisions, but we doing we're doing our job over here by what we're putting on tape to make it look appetizing enough to want to come join us. So that's my recruiting.
Great answer. Future Hall of Famer, Uncle Tay, Wolverine, Super Bowl champion Davante Adams incoming. Good luck this
Appreciate
weekend.
that, Kay. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Davante. Good luck.